Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Monday, September 4th. Wow, September already. September 4th, 2012. We have a couple things to mention, quick mentions. Seminars in a couple weeks. If you guys haven't signed up yet, we're going to have to put a deadline on that. Hang on, you can go to www.cfrn.net/seminar to sign up for that. All right. If you have not taken the trial and you want to take the trial, go to www.cfrn.net/apply to take the free trial. Okay. With the free trial, we don't ask for any credit card information or anything like that. You get 5 days in the live trading room. You get all the indicators that you see here. You also get the charting package, the charting platform. I know right now OEC is having a problem with their indicator store. We have a workaround for that we've been doing with folks. They should have their indicator store fixed tomorrow, is what they're saying. So, hopefully it will be, and it'll simplify the process for everyone. But okay, results. ES, I had +8 ticks. Hang on, let me just slide it over. ES +8 ticks. The YM +20 ticks. I had no trades on crude oil. I took a couple trades on crude. I'm +3 ticks on crude. I'm sorry, I had no trades on crude. I took a couple trades on gold. I'm +3 ticks on gold. The NQ, I think I took one trade on the NQ. And I went to take a break even on it, and it slipped me 1 tick. So I'm -1 tick on the NQ. All right, those are the results for today. Now, let's just go over the actual trade setup. So I'm going to start with the ES today because that is where I think we had good movement this morning, which was nice to see. We had been sort of anticipating it after the Labor Day weekend, that we would get some more movement in the market, and as you can see, we went zone to zone this morning on the ES. We also went zone to zone on the YM. We started out in a little bit of chop right here for the first 8 or 10 minutes. And then we dropped down below that level of chop and pulled up and had a shorting opportunity off the BBC right below the weekly trading zone. That was the first trade of the day. We took 2 points. Actually, we took 6 ticks profit on that. It put in a lower swing right after that, and it pulled back up to the BBC. We shorted that again right there. Once it closed the window of opportunity, I had moved my stop up to plus a couple of ticks, and it took me out at plus a couple of ticks there. But you can see, obviously, that it dropped all the way down here. This first one gave 2 points. The second one obviously gave 2 points all the way down to the weekly trading zone. And since then, guys, it has gone completely sideways. It dropped down to the zone, and it's gone sideways. We were looking at a bunch of different scenarios this morning in the live trading room as the live trading room was coming to a close. It just didn't come up with any good trades after these two right here. Okay, there was this one right over here. That was a possibility, but it was going right into the weekly trading zone. It would have worked had you taken the trade, but again, it was going right into the weekly trading zone, which is something that we do not do. One thing I do want to point out is that, and I pointed this out this morning as well, once we had the divergence here and the green line turned down, what you anticipate is that the green line is going to work its way down into the cycle, and that's exactly what it did right there. Again, right over here, anticipating a move down, the green line moved down into the cycle. Over here on this last one, the cycle started moving up. You see when we got to the weekly trading zone, things started consolidating. The cycle started moving up. Now, we had the opposite divergence, bullish divergence, in the green line. Then you anticipate it moving up into the cycle. And I had pointed this out in the live trading room this morning. I wasn't sure what was going to happen here. I said if we get closes down below this black trend line that I had drawn on there, I said if we get closes down below that, I could see the cycle moving down and getting more bearish divergence, but that's not the case at the moment. You can see the cycle portion of the slingshot is up here at the top, and what we would anticipate now is a close up above the MA1 and to see this green line move up into the cycle. All right, so an upward movement from the ES is what we'd anticipate. Given its current sideways status, I don't know when that's going to happen, and that could change. All right, that is definitely subject to change. Now over here on the YM, I will point out what we did. Alright, it started out again, the YM started out a little choppy right here. Same period that the ES, where the heck was it? I'm sorry, right in here. Same period that the ES was choppy in. And then it dropped down below and it pulled back up to the BBC. I shorted the BBC when it pulled up here. Alright, and then we had the news events that came out and it pushed the market right down, gave me 20 ticks profit. It came back up here again, and I did not short it again when it came back up here. Had I shorted it again, it obviously would have worked out well for me. The original short, I was short at 13,060 over here, and it dropped all the way down to 12. Well, the weekly trading zone was what I was looking at there, was 12,990. So that was 70 points. It dropped actually all the way down to 965 for a 95-point move in total, but I took 20 out of it right here, and that was good. You can see it came back up and it was back and forth, and the whole consolidation period that we've been going through on the ES we've also been going through on the YM. It's been stuck inside this zone here ever since it got to the zone. Alright, and that is what happens a lot of times when the price gets to the weekly trading zones. It just consolidates there. Alright, let's see, I want to jump in over here and see what we have. Alright, this was the NQ. Now this morning the NQ started out, it was really choppy. Right here it was just whipping back and forth, okay, and that was pre-market. It finally made a move down, put in a lower swing, lower than this one right here. Put in a lower swing, came back up, tested the BBC and gave a down close. On that down close is where I was looking to get short, okay? Once we got the down close right there, I got short. Price went down. It gave me about, 6 or 8 ticks profit, something like that. And it closed down below the MA1. Once it did that, I moved my stop to break even up above the MA1. And it came back up, stopped me out at break even, and then it moved down. It gave another opportunity to get short right in here. You can see down here on the bottom we had the bearish divergence. After the bearish cross, we had the bearish divergence and tested the BBC with a down close. It did it again. It did it there. It did it again right over here with the bearish divergence. And on this last pullback here, it didn't pull back far enough to test the BBC. Over here, the cycle was headed up, so we didn't look to get short over there. In here, there was an opportunity to get long that I missed, and I think I had outlined all the opportunities that there were, that I could see anyway, while it was happening. We had a bearish cross in here, a pullback and tested the BBC with a down close. You see down here we had the bearish divergence. And over here we had a bullish cross of the BBC, a pullback and test of the BBC with an up close right in there with the bullish divergence. And that was pretty much the end of the morning session. Right now we have a bearish cross, pullback and test of the BBC with a down close right there with some bearish divergence. Alright, we've closed down below the MA1. It should go down here, but we now have a bullish cross. So it's really kind of messy right in here. It's starting this sort of swinging back and forth across the BBC stuff that it had done in the pre-market. With the choppiness that we have, this right here, with the choppiness that we have in the ES and the YM right now, I don't think I would be trading anything on the NQ. Now, I also looked at, let me bring it up here, give me just a second. I gotta find my gold chart. Well, this is crude oil. I didn't take any trades in crude this morning. Not to say there weren't any, but I didn't take any. Okay. Crude was really choppy right in here. There were a couple of opportunities right here. One was on the long side, tested the BBC with an up close, tested the BBC with an up close again. This one didn't go anywhere. That one did. Yeah, I guess there weren't that many opportunities in there after all. It was whipping around quite a bit in here. Let's see, we had a bullish cross tested the BBC with an up close right in there. It pulled back a bit, but it eventually went up. Let's see, over here we had a bearish cross, tested the BBC with a down close, and another one right in there. So these are all opportunities that had happened, and that was during the break. So right now we have a bullish cross. we're in a position to give some bullish divergence. We could have a test and an up close. All right, that was crude oil. Now let me get my gold chart. And here is the gold. All right. Now you can see on gold, crude oil, on the NQ, we're doing the same exact thing here. We're doing the same exact trade setups on these things. All right. We're looking for the crosses, the divergence, and the closes. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Now the gold opened up in really choppy right in here, and we didn't even look at it until over here. We had a bearish cross test to the BBC with a down close, and down here on the bottom you can see we had the bearish divergence to support that. Over here we had a bullish cross test to the BBC with an up close, and you can see right here we had bullish divergence to support that. Again, the same thing over here. Okay, and over here we had a bearish cross test to the BBC with a down close. Okay, oops, let me fix that. Right there. A bearish cross test to the BBC with a down close. Now over here we had a bullish cross test to the BBC with an up close. You can see the trades that I took were none of these, because they don't have the yellow lines on them, the yellow arrows. The yellow arrows are the trades that I actually took, all right, in the live trading room. But right here you can see we had a bearish cross, a test to the BBC with a down close right there. You know what? I don't even have my questions up here. Hang on a second. How can you get that? You can't get that in that platform. See, bud. Alright, now over here, these were the trades that I finally took. Okay, we had a bullish cross, a test to the BBC with an up close. I got long in here, and it gave, I think that one gave 10 ticks profit, and I had moved my stop to plus a couple of ticks, and it came back and stopped me out at plus a couple of ticks. Alright, the same thing over here. Or that one gave like 8 ticks, and this one got it up to 10 ticks profit, so it probably added another 8 ticks. But we had a bearish cross, a test to the BBC with a down close. You can see right under the arrow. The down close was right there. I got short in there. When it got down here to the MA1, closed window of opportunity, I moved my stop up to plus a tick or two, and it stopped me out at plus a tick. So that's how I ended up with plus 3 ticks on the gold. All right, we had a bullish cross test to the BBC with an up close with the bullish divergence down here. You see it. And again over here, bearish cross test to the BBC with a down close right there, and again right there. And that brings us right into the break period where we stopped trading for the morning session. But you can see gold had given a couple more opportunities in here. Okay. The question, C-Bud, was how can I get this on the charting platform that he uses? You can't. It's only available on DT Pro. And there's a lot more to it. These are all the potential things. Everything that has a true or false value in here is a potential line on the slingshot. There's a lot more to it than what I'm actually showing right here. All right, and you can't get it there. It's exclusive to DT Pro. All right. Now, I think I've done all the markets that I traded on, and I'll do one more market here. Just a second. The 6E. I'll bring the 6E up. Here it is. The 6E got stuck in this weekly trading zone business as well. You can see I hadn't marked up the 6E this morning at all, but you can see the same trade setups from when the 6E opened. You know, it opened up over here. And bearish cross tested the BBC with a down close with the bearish divergence. Again, bearish divergence. And you can see it was just dropping down all the way down to the weekly trading zone. When it got down there, it went sideways for a little while here right before the open. Then on the open it moved up. We didn't have any real indication there that it was going up. And it came back down, tested the BBC. We had too many closes below the BBC, and the cycle was moving down to get long on that. It moved down right into the weekly trading zone, and we weren't going to go short into that. It moved up out of it. No opportunity for long in here. You possibly could have taken a long right here, which would have shorted you out. I mean, stopped you out. if you'd have done that. Okay, that definitely would have stopped you out. I wouldn't have been shorting going into the zone right here. Okay, I wouldn't have done anything with the 6E from the U.S. Open at 9:30. There was nothing here on the 6E for us today. There were some nice moves on the 6E prior to the Open in the pre-market, but since then there was nothing. Let's see. I think I've covered all the markets that I looked at. The only thing I didn't look at was the Russell. Let me bring that up. I haven't looked at the Russell yet this morning, so I don't know what that looks like, but I'm guessing it looks a lot like probably the NQ. All right, we'll just scroll back here to the Open. This was the Open right here. There were a lot of bars right here at the Open. No opportunity to get any trades off in there. If you look at this, we had the bearish cross with the down close, bearish divergence, bearish divergence, bearish divergence, all the way down here. It flipped around and moved up. Right here, there was an up close with bullish divergence. This would have lost right here. Had you gotten long right there, that definitely would have lost. It flipped around again. We didn't have any good bearish divergence or bullish divergence really until over here, where the cycle was actually oversold. It was right in there. All right. Let's see. Right here, there was another long trade that went nowhere. Right there. Okay. And since then, it's been really flat. So it looks like there are a couple of wins and a couple of losses available there on the Russell this morning. Not much at all. Normally the Russell will give a little more than that, but it just didn't have it today. The ES was the place to trade today. The ES and the YM had some pretty decent trades. The gold did too. All in all, we ended up 20 ticks YM, up 8 ticks ES, up 3 ticks gold, down 1 tick NQ. All right. On that, I am going to remind everyone that we have a seminar coming up here in a couple of weeks. If you go to www.cfrn.net/seminar, you can read all about it. And if you haven't taken a trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. All right, that is it.